trees itself. In other words, so in ancient times, woodsmen and things like that not only would go out and clear out woods or cut down woods, but they would also take care of the underbrush. And so, and what you can see now, whenever we're looking at sort of non-curated forests and things like that, whenever you have a forest fire with underbrush in it and everything like that, that the lack of forestry in the sense of that actually is dangerous to trees in that sense. So we do perform a very valued service to trees. So we have this.
Hey, Kevin, you're dropping out.
Symbiotic relationship. Still can't hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you now. Just don't move.
Okay, I won't.
Your head is blocking the satellite.
Yeah, no, that's a. I think I have that steel plate in my head, and it stops it from translating.
No, I think
But,
I think it's the atmospheric conditions. That where you're at, the ionic sphere is being discharged instead of charged.
Yeah. Well, no, but I do think that, for a lot of times, especially whenever you look at sort of the idea of the green man, which is a forest type tree type creature, and then that actually becomes located with, foresters. And so cleaning out the underbrush and burning that and for our fuel and things like that, taking dead and decay out of the forest, and burning it is, that's we do have a symbiotic relationship if we choose to with trees, and I think that's why they would give us back some wisdom.
Yeah, they just seem to get it on a higher level. And can you imagine? I have some background in forestry as well, and can you imagine if the foresters were taught not just, the forest husbandry, but if they were taught this part, which I've talked with a lot of Forest Service folks, people who are in there, and the ones who make it a long time are the ones who do connect, and they listen in to what that forest is sharing with them. They may not talk about it, just like some of the Fortune 500 CEOs won't talk about it, but
right.
Can you imagine how everything would shift if we were working in conjunction with them and listening to them to tell us what they really need?
Now, guys, we just got another caller added on. Caller, who do we have out there?
Hi, this is Denise.
Hi, Denise. And you have a question.
Hello, Denise.
Hey, Denise.
Hi there. I'm a huge fan of Anna Maria and all the wisdom she shares, and I'm just loving this conversation about the trees and the wisdom, and I can't say enough good things about Anna Maria. She is amazing, as all of you can tell.
Oh, yeah, I am loving this caller.
Well, so am I.
I wanted to call in and say hello, and thank you for sharing all your beautiful gifts with us.
Thank you, Denise. I so appreciate that. I love it so much.
Hey, Denise. Now that you found my show, are you gonna continue listening to it?
Absolutely.
Well, good. Find us on Facebook and like us. You can find us. Well, I don't know what app you're listening. What app are you listening to? Out of curiosity, right now.
I clicked on the link, and it took me to a beautiful picture of this magical nighttime computer setup, and then I just clicked the call-in button.
Okay.
So I think I talked to you on the internet.
Great. Everything actually worked. Oh, gee. It actually worked. You know what? It actually worked the way we programmed it here the last couple of days. Man, I'm happy. You made my day.
That's a win for sure.
Well, I want to say thank you for calling in tonight.
Well, thank you for taking my call. And again, thank you for having this conversation. It's so important that we get back to that remembrance of the trees, and they're literally our roots. So thank you for hosting Anna Maria.
Well, how did you get to know her, out of curiosity?
Anna Maria has been an amazing mentor, and she changed my life. I came to her through her program with animal communication, and I've done everything that she has put out ever since. She's fantastic. She provides a lot of information in a really heartfelt way, and she nurtures her tribe. So I'm blessed to be part of that, and she's just so generous and loving, and really embodies that unconditional love that nature and our animal companions and the trees provide all of us.
Great. Well, thank you for calling.
You bet. All right, I'll continue listening into this great conversation.
Okay, thank you. Now,
Denise is one of those people. She's, one of us weirdos as well. She has an amazing. I tend to attract folks who love this, where the unknown meets the science. And so she's a dog trainer, actually, but she works with the energy, and she teaches people how to work with the chakras and their animals. So certain chakras will show up. The third chakra might show up as nipping or biting or lunging, leash aggression. And so she mixes the energy with the known science of animal behavior. And I'm telling you, this is the key for us moving forward. When we mix this unseen with the known, we can take it to different dimensions, and we can work in different ways, whether it's a tree, a rock, a lake, whatever. We limit ourselves so much.
Oh, we do. I got to ask you a question, though, because, again, animals, the ability of animals, which is more sensitive to us, our thoughts, horses or dogs and cats? Which one out of the three would you think are more sensitive to us?
Out of the three, that's a tough one. Each one of them are teachers in their own right. I'm a dog person, so my natural inclination is to say dog, but all of the energetic animals are like contradicting me. So my answer would be dog, but I'm listening to the horses and the cats talk, and they just talk to us differently. Horses are phenomenal. Like, you have to show up authentically. If you don't, you're going nowhere with that horse. And horses are used in therapy in so many different ways because they get humans even in a different way than dogs and cats do. And cats magic, man, they are something else. But I would say between animals and trees, animals are a little more invested than the trees are, but the trees are so leaning in, waiting for us to remember.
Yeah, the reason why I mentioned that is, I have a mini farm. I got a couple of miniature goats. I got a couple of miniature horses. We got the dogs. We got the cats. We got raccoons. We got possums. You name it, squirrels like you wouldn't believe. And sometimes I feel like I'm a squirrel, but that's another show. But I will say this: the two horses are so inquisitive. Always, if I'm out working on my motorcycle, they'll come from the other side of the pasture and they're watching me. And, and I get these vibes off of them sometimes, and they're like great watchdogs, better than my dogs. I mean, somebody could rob my house and the dogs would probably, wag their tails and follow them home. But the horses will sit there and, when a car comes up, if they don't recognize it, they make their noises. And they seem to be so intelligent. People don't realize it. It's funny. They can. We get cars go by. They don't make their noises when a car drives by the road. Not at all. But they hear us, like a quarter mile away. Like when my wife is about a quarter mile away from the house, they know it's her car. They recognize the sound. They're all excited. They run up to the gate waiting for her, to park her car. Same way as my motorcycles too. I mean, like my one son, they could care less about him, so they don't even pay attention. But my wife will say the same thing. She'll hear me, vaguely, down the road, and she said the horses are already excited, waiting for you.
It's the treat givers. They notice the treat givers, and it's true. They've done studies with dogs as well that have shown that as soon as the human starts setting their intention to go home, the dog starts to check the window and get excited. And so what I found with the different animals, again, it's kind of a personality piece. I've met some dogs that are kind of disconnected and, not all there. And then I've met goats or goldfish even, who are crazy connected to their people. so, again, we want to pay closer attention and give a second thought to all of these living beings who are sharing this space with us, because there's so much more going on than meets the eye. And we're missing a lot by not paying attention to that.
Oh, we are. I don't know how you feel about that, Kevin.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask Anna Marie is that, from her perspective, understanding that a lot of people look at things a different way. Do you feel like the trees, because they're all connected, and the animals, are they connecting to? Do you feel like you're connected to them directly, or do you feel like that you are connecting to a global oneness, or a cosmic oneness? I mean, I've heard people say different things about that, and so I would be interested in your perspective, whether you feel like you're connecting directly to that tree, and that tree is like a USB node, and you're getting the download from the tree itself, or are you getting the download from the cosmic sense?
I would say that that's a great question, first of all, and that's really amazing discernment, and a lot of people don't even have that level. So first of all, kudos to you for being in that. And I would say a lot of your listeners, too, are in that space. And I found it's really a little bit of A and a little bit of B. I have found, without a doubt, that individual trees have their own personalities. I'm connected to a lot of different trees, but I have certain ones that are my favorites. We just get along. Me and Sal, this big ponderosa pine out in the forest here, I love him, and there's something about his energy towards me that feels very much like a caretaker, like he's always watching out for me. And so sometimes I feel like I'm getting direct downloads from his wisdom, but again, he's kind of connected to that super highway that can then connect me to something greater. So, I guess the best 3D explanation would be you go and see your doctor, and he's really good, and he's helping you with this and that, but he connects you to a specialist who really gets, your particular situation and can help you. Well, the difference between the doctor and the tree is with the tree, I don't have to go to another space. The tree is just going to channel that energy that I'm needing, whereas the doctor, I'm going to have to set up another appointment and go see somebody else.
And pay a lot of money, too.
Yeah. I think that, it is interesting that some people, try to discern between the two, but, it's a good thing. This is why I'm asking that question, but, as a person who speaks to a lot of different people who connect to different things, it's always interesting to me to kind of figure out what it is that or how it is. Because I listen to you, and I'm not going to go too woo woo, but I can feel that you.
I'm pretty woo.
Well, no, but I'm going to say I can feel that you're a good person. Obviously, listening to you.
Hey, Kevin, she's a biker chick too. Be nice to her.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that, Gary. Not only, but I was listening to you, listening to Gary. Gary's in a good mood, which is good, and so that. What I mean by that is that you obviously have a positive effect on a lot of people. So, and your caller dictated that too. So, what I was just trying to make clear is that it is interesting that you're backing this up with a lot of different.
Oh, you moved again, Kevin.
No, I'm sitting here right in the same spot.
Uh-oh.
It's your head, I'm telling you. It's shape-shifting.
It could be.
What
After this past weekend, it could be, actually.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do then, I'll say goodbye for now. I don't want to screw up your conversation. It's doing great. It was so nice talking to you, Anne-Marie. I'd love to talk to you sometime off air.
Oh my gosh, I would love that. I absolutely welcome that. And again, I love your questions on discernment.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, Kevin, you just need to invite her on your show one of these Saturdays.
Well, there's that.
I will. You know what? I'd love to. I'm not going to have a show this weekend, Gary. As you know, I'm going to the UFO Festival in Yelm, and as a representative of Night Dreams Talk Radio. So I'll be hanging out with the UFO people this weekend. But maybe after that, Anne-Marie, I'll contact you and we'll set up a time.
Absolutely. And, again, that UFO connection, the extraterrestrials, one of the pieces that I've learned is